Tonight on the docket. Welcome everybody. Tonight on the docket, we got some Pokemon Scarlet. We haven't touched this game in a while, and I was perusing through the Pokemon news in Pokemon Home and saw that they had a Outbreak event with increased shiny odds. So it's always good when we don't have to use a sandwich to find a shiny. So that's what we're going to do when we're going to try to find some shinies. See how many we can get in however many outbreaks that we've got without using any of the Herba Mystica sandwiches, because I want to save those for a dedicated shiny hunting video at some point in the future. I'm hoping that it doesn't take so long that it's not worth it anymore, because I mean, I have until sometime next year for the next mainline game to technically do it before it's like generally considered too late. That's better. I tucked my character into a cave, hoping to like reduce the glare during the time where I'm just me on screen. But then the light at the end of the tunnel started doing like a glare like right in the middle of my lens. Just bothering me, and probably bothering you guys. So I fixed it. It's okay. We're good. But I honestly have been wanting to have more reasons to play Pokemon Scarlet since it came out on Switch 2, or since the Switch 2 came out and the upgraded version was available for Pokemon Scarlet Day 1. But between doing like the Mightiest Mark raids, which there's one for Glimmora, which is the Pokemon spotlighted right now, Glimmet and Glimmora. No one seems to really want to watch those, and I don't blame them. It's just a battle, and like there isn't usually anything that crazy going on, because most of the time I'm like, okay, what are some good counters for this, and then it gives like a list or whatever. And like whichever one I either have in a box that is high enough level to just quickly train up and like give some moves that would be good, and then I just go, and then it's pretty easy. Or the opposite of where I don't do that ahead of time and then I just struggle bus, which honestly isn't all that entertaining. At least you guys don't think so. I'm not a fan of struggling, so I'm not a fan of those ones. But it seems like the view count on those matched that. So it's gonna kind of stray away from doing raid streams. That, and like if I do manage to get the raid done in the first try, that leads to a very short and very uneventful stream. Be great if I just did it as a video, but that would require pre-recording and editing, and as I've discussed many times before, I lack the free time with a full-time job and this to do said editing, so that's not happening. I'd love more free time, and I'd love to make some edited, like, good clean cut videos for YouTube, but yeah, that's currently a pipe dream. So that, and streams are more personable anyway. Gets interaction with the views, not just view on YouTube with pre-recorded and stuff like that. Like it's very much like the views are more, I'm not saying I see views as numbers and not people, but like it skews more in that direction with those like edited production kind of videos, whereas live streams are more like interactive and personable, and overall just like a more casual experience, which, you know, is refreshing compared to a lot of the overly produced stuff that's on. And I'm not knocking that stuff, because like I watch that stuff like during my time for relaxation, which cannot be construed for free time. It is literally the time that I must take to not go insane. Between doing things that I don't want to do and doing things that I do want to do, but are still take their effort for. I need like decompression and relaxation time. So I do consume those produced and edited videos on YouTube. So, can't knock them when I watch them, right? Can't knock them when I watch them and want to make them, but lack the time. But we got some shinies to hunt. There are mass outbreaks for what the news said was Glimmet and Glimmora. So that's neat. Usually it'd be like catch multiple Glimmet and evolve one into Glimmora. But in this case, I might not have to do that. I mean, there's a chance that I would have to do it. There's also a chance where I only get shiny Glimmoras and then I'm out the shiny Glimmet. So I can't really fix that one. Not without oodles and oodles of Ditto breeding. That's not what I want. I don't want to do that. Masuda Method shiny has not been nearly as kind to me in this one as in Pokemon Shield. But that is because there's a lot more that goes into the process of making the eggs happen versus leave them at a daycare, check back in on them, get eggs, bike around until they hatch. It was a lot more simplified, but we can't move the Pokemon to Shield and do that because this is a 9th gen Pokemon, so it does not exist in the 8th gen game, sadly. Us go to the game. I don't have a hotkey for the Nintendo thing, only the desktop, and we don't need to do that again. There we are. I might have to turn the music up. The audio mixture shows that it's very quiet, but I don't want to. I think 6 might be overpowering. No, 6 might be okay. So this is the cave, and that's the blinding light that's showing up in my glasses. Alright, so let's find us... What's wrong? There we go. I hit the plus button because Legends EA. And because Pokemon games don't want to freaking have consistency in control schemes. So I must readapt. I might have to update. I mean, I've all but confirmed that I have to refresh. But that does not mean suddenly back out prematurely of the map. So we should, yeah, they're everywhere. Well, there's at least two, like right here. So we're probably gonna go to this one first because it's closer. So we're going to use Ursaluna because ground types. Now this is one of those that I like every time I went down to the Area 0, I kept an eye out for, because I knew Glimmets were fairly common down there. Hope there isn't any down there, because that'll just make this a nightmare. Because I noticed that, like, they do tend to not plan for the actual landscape when slapping these down. Frickin' Earthworm, man. Forgot about that. I'll just use the Blood Moon anyway. I will say it's a more subtle, shiny. I've gotten the second warning for the number that's left. This one is not spawning a whole lot. No, it's just concerning. It's still active Outbreak. That's the third warning. So now we're gonna wander a little bit. Why would you do such things? Felt like someone knocked on the back of my monitor. Thank you for the biddies, but how dare you use them in such evil ways? Okay, we're gonna whittle the few down. Is that it? I think we got one. Yes! Oh, Ursaluna's shoulder ruined it. We got it. It sparkled. You could hear it, just not see it because of freaking Ursaluna. Quick ball. Yep, crit cap. Awesome. So that's one shiny. I don't remember at what point in the stream we started the actual hunt, so we're at the almost half an hour mark in the stream, but first half hour getting a shiny, not bad. Okay, we are gonna go to boxes. Okay, we were in the shiny too. Good. We are going to swap you. Swap you. There. So actually on the proper box. And the shiny for Glimmet is a bit more noticeable than I thought. Like, for me, it looks like the blue petal-like things on its head are just a light turquoise, and I didn't think I would notice the different shade of color on its the main part of its body, but I did. Alright, so the outbreak is officially dispersed. We did get one shiny from it. I consider that a win. But we are going to clear out the rest of the Glimmets. And then we will head over to the other outbreak that's nearby. Track you, go to the map, head back. Other way. No. No, 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 come back, come back, come back. Please, 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 please come back. Please don't be gone. Yes! Shiny Orthworm! Hell yeah! I'm not used to the Orthworms hiding like that. I'm used to them like springing up on me. Bonus shiny! Hell yeah! And see, and that's why I didn't fast travel back to the fast travel point. I had a feeling I was gonna find something. It's close enough to trigger the message for it. Yeah, when it comes to like Pokemon Scarlet, I've learned that like yeah, the flying fast travels are really convenient, but for someone who wants like all the shinies possible, I like to walk and ride on Koraidon. F you, Rufflet. I'm still salty about going after Outbreak for a shiny Rufflet and not getting it. If you'd like to know what I'm referring to, it's the Pokemon Scarlet stream that has the shiny Rufflet in the thumbnail. I can't remember which, like, on the YouTube, I should specify, because currently live on Twitch as of the making of this. But on my YouTube channel, I believe it's in the Pokemon Scarlet playlist. There should be a thing with a thumbnail. Hey, you missed one. Missed one? Where did I miss one? Logan, what do you mean by I missed one? Where was the one that I missed? Did that Voltorb just respawn just to blow itself up again? Did it just do it again? Are you good? Witness it. I freaking hate these guys. Forgot. trying to do all the buttons because I thought I spotted one. I forgot that you can't sprint on foot in Pokemon Scarlet. You can only do it when you're riding Rhydon, which is kind of dumb, but you know. They remedied that in Legends EA. They had already done it right in Legends Arceus. Don't know why the mainline game was like, you can't sprint. That's too normal video game for a mainline Pokemon game. Spin-offs like Legends games, sure, but mainline games, no, you can't do that. We got our second warning. There's one way out here. Is this the one I missed? Oh, there's more down here? What the? Please don't tell me they're in the cave, too. I'll be so upset. No, they're just not up here to be any in the cave. That's gonna infuriate me a bit. Because I really, really wanted it all to be one elevation. It always is a pain to do these outbreaks with multi-levels. The last one had like a small ledge that I could easily look up on. That's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. Granted, none of them are like climbing up on top of the hill here. So that's a good thing. Okay, that's our third and final warning. Okay, we need to start thinning the herd a bit. Okay, even if I go this outbreak without getting one, it's fine because the Orthworm on the way over was my consolation prize at that point. It made it worth coming over here anyways. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of outbreaks on all 3 maps. Oh goody, it's raining. Alright, another thinning. I thinned too much, that was it. I was just gonna get the cluster over here done and then like have more respawn, but that was overdoing it apparently. God. Where is the next one? Okay, couple over here, one up here. It's gonna be all up on the north side. Pretty much all around here. So we've got 3 more here. And then there's more. Okay. 1 there, 1 there. Glimmoras are up there. Okay. So we've got 2 Glimmets and 2 Glimmoras in Kitakami. And then nothing in Blueberry Academy. Alright. So we've got a total of 5 more Glimmet outbreaks and 2 Glimmora outbreaks. So what we're going to do is we're going to beeline it as northwest as we can to. Can we can put a marker, can't we? So yeah, we can. Okay, so good. All right, and we are of course gonna go not the fast way, which I know, ugh, but at the same time, need I justify it any further than the shiny Orthworm we've already encountered? That was a weird lag spike. I haven't experienced that. Long time. Now, granted, this game still isn't perfectly optimized, of course. Take a drink. But it looks like we can exist in Tag Tree Thicket without losing all of our frames. Just needed a little reorientation. What Leo doing over by those go-go's? Close enough to trigger it. Can already tell this is probably going to be a less than ideal outbreak to work with. Pretty much every single one I've ever had on this mountain has been. And this is why it's a nightmare. Got our first warning. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're 2 for 3, but we got the Orthworm as the consolation for the second one, so basically 3 for 3. Okay, second warning. Trying to go to the one up here, which wasn't shiny. Got our last warning. That's why I retracted her, so we're gonna knock off the bundle right here. Ah, freaking. That was a very brief snowstorm. Alright, we might do a quick picnic reset and see if that can get us at least one more out of this outbreak. Not gonna do too many resets this stream like that. Just wanted to see if I could get another one to show up because of it. Because I do still want to get through all of the rest of the outbreaks. Time to start the culling. That, and I'm also tired of this landscape. Maybe if we get a really good flat open one where I don't have to do a whole lot of up and down, on around, and all that stuff. Then we can do a bunch of resets, especially if it like ends up being the last one. Sneasel. Freaking random Glaceon. That's not a shiny Glaceon, is it? No, it's not. Okay. I can't remember what shiny Glaceon looked like. I think it was a slight color alteration. And the lighting over here is making it very teal. So I just wanted to make sure. Alright. Next one is over here. Gardevoir and some Ralts. That's neat. I know this doesn't give me the best chance for finding shinies on the way. But I figured gliding down. Might be a nice little speed up. Sneasel, Delibird, Snovers, Bergmite. Oh goody, another hillside. One which I don't know if above it spawned any. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, good. Last thing I need right now is go up and down and up and down. There is some down below though. Very much like to kick this one out. I feel like it might be a waste, but I think I'm just gonna keep quick battling regardless of the warnings. So I'm just gonna like keep going until they're all gone or I find a shiny on the way there. Why do they have to be so hard to like hit us with the dang quick battle sometimes? Ew. No, don't do that. You've gotta be kidding me. They're self-destructing. You stupid species. I hate shinies that no self-destruct. I hate them so much. Can I not go down? Can I get back up, please? Every single motion I was making with the controller was to head back up, and it's just like down. Face the opposite way you're pointing your stick. Down. Starting to get really upset with this area just in general. Like they give me a shiny that self-destructs, and then just it's already multi-layered, so I'm having to go up the hill and down the hill and stuff. There's a reason I'm not stopping at the warnings. I'm just gonna keep going and beating them up until they're all gone. Because prolonging my shiny hunt in this area is just gonna make me more and more upset. It's our final warning, we're not stopping. Not even for you, freaking Graveyard. It's another shiny. We're the same spot. Please just get in the quick ball and don't kill yourself. Thank you for the crit cap. That. Oh. Should have used a freaking dusk ball, but like quick balls. Quick ball's so useful. Especially when you don't want an attack to the Pokemon at all. Retract. There's another one. Okay, this spot is... I'm gonna hold off on that statement. Okay. Another crit cap. Okay. So far, this spot is now making it up to me. By giving me 2 shinies that didn't explode and got caught on the first ball. Okay. Feel a little bit better. Still a little salty about the first one that blew itself up. But getting 2 more definitely helps my mood improve. So maybe the strat is to just not worry about the warnings, because I was told, like, after the 3rd warning, just peruse around, like, maybe, like, step outside the spawn area and then step back in, reset with the picnic if necessary. But so far, the one time I'm just beasting through them without any remorse is the time I'm getting 3 encounters and 2 caught shinies. That's not a sign to just rip through the spawn, like the entirety of the outbreak, then I don't know what is. Okay, Outbreak is over. All the Glimmets have fainted. And I believe the next one is right next to the star base down there. Yep. Down by the Sylveon spawn, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it an Espeon spawn? It's one of the pretty color evolutions. I don't know how else to describe it. I know that's not the most accurate way to depict. But it was the first thing that came to my head. You know, because both have a fairly decent amount of pink on them. One's completely pink. And pink is like the de facto, like, quote unquote, pretty color. Okay, for a second there, I thought that one in the middle was shiny when it was just the evolution. Because I know they're different shades of fur, and then... Just gonna make sure... I haven't fought this person? Should I? I thought I had found all the trainers to fight. Such beauty only to be marred by ugly piles of junk. I can't stand it. Weirdo. Swirly eyes. No, my shell bell. Eat blood moon. Do I get my shell bell back? Yes. Okay, good. Oh, is there only Pokemon? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have taken out my frustration on you. You didn't do anything except for, like, try to take my shell bell, which I should beat you up after the battle for that. Make sure. It's a Floette in there. Okay. I was like, what is in the flowers? They're Floettes, right? Yeah, they're Floettes. Well, that one has a mark, maybe? It's not shiny, but I'll take one with a mark. Or possibly a mark. I'm gonna have to move you out of the shiny box, but let's check summary real quick. It does. Uncommon mark, a mark of a sociable Pokemon. Okay. Neat. Now let's move you. Yeah, you can be box 29, that's fine. Oh, Vivian. Hello. Alright. Is that a shiny one already? What? Okay. No complaints. Don't do it, don't do it. Acid armor, okay. Oh, I was like, please help self-destruct. Here's my desk. Do I not? Okay, I was about to say, did I not have? Don't do it. Don't kill you. Okay. Haha, there we go. That's what we like to see. We did switch back to, okay. Yeah, we're gonna stick with the strat of getting this one. I was considering doing the picnic refresh on the third warning. Well, after I checked everything after the third warning, of course. Well, that means that it's already about 8:30. And we still got 2 more in the Kitakami and then 2 Glimmora outbreaks. I do want to be done in a decent time. We're probably going to stick with just the strat of just boring through all of them. There's a lot of floettes over here. It's almost like it has its own outbreak going on. Letting it clear out some floettes just so there's more room for Glimmets to spawn, and you know, making sure that none of those little tiny ones are shiny themselves. Probably the best. Oh, there's a Sylveon spawn, by the way. believe we've already gotten the third warning, but I just decided to focus on the floettes for a little bit to see if we could get a decent amount of Glimmets to spawn, and I was correct. We got quite a few. So that might help us stave off the end of the outbreak for just a little bit and give us another chance for another shiny to spawn. If not, we got one right at the beginning, so can't complain, and then we got a few from the last one. Alright, Outbreak's officially dispersed, so there won't be any more spawning. Alright, so now's the time. Unless any more popped up for any weird reason. Nope. Alright, let's swap over to Kitakami. Okay, we'll be able to fast travel to Infernal Pass and get to that one there. Oh, don't tell me it's up above. Oh, there's hopefully all of them. It's very possible that we might have some above. Would have known it was just up here. I thought it was down and in. But Should have checked up here first. Alright, I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes the lighting of this game really plays tricks on me. I know that there's supposed to be a more dramatic color change for a shiny Bonsly. It felt off to look at color-wise, so I was like, maybe I'm misremembering? No, I was not misremembering. His second warning. I think I might be 0 for 2 on the limit for Kitakami. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we've gotten the third. I think we've gotten the third warning. Still haven't found one yet. It is not good. I mean, it's not like I'm lacking the shinies. I got a good amount so far. But like, I always go in with the hope of getting at least one per Outbreak. And granted, I did get lucky with a couple extra, including an extra Pokemon that's not a Glimmet being shiny. So, cannot have too much to complain about. I mean, yes, it's always rough to have a shiny faint on you. Okay, no, there's the third final warning. Okay. It's always rough to watch one blow up itself in front of you. Yeah, I'm gonna blame Orthworm. We're once again in close proximity of an Orthworm and we're not getting any. Granted, Orthworm did give us a shiny today. But the outbreaks in which I have seen frequently an Orthworm have yielded no shinies so far. So I'm just gonna blame Orthworm and call it call a spade, call an Orthworm a shiny hunt ruiner. I'm kidding. I joke. Yep. Outbreak has officially dispersed. No shiny. And the Orthworm left. I got 2 quick balls. Because I just remembered I have forgotten to restock. But I honestly didn't think I would run into over 20 shinies, so I still could be proven wrong, but if anything, I will have to restock on Quick Ball after we do all the outbreaks. Oh. Didn't see until it was too late. First warning. Ah. Wait, did it survive? Oh no. Okay, I was about to say. What was that extra bit? Okay, that's warning number 2. Ah, frickin' Geodude, man. Frickin' Geodude. Not too close. Again. Okay, finally got this one dispersed. So far we're not having as much luck in Kitakami as in Paldea. Alright, so now this means that we got just the 2 Glimmora. Which is good because I'm starting to get tired. Ah, frickin' Geodude. Wow, way to go, Geodude. Once again, gliding down to prevent it from taking too terribly long. Also, I may have gotten disoriented, but I do want to encounter a bunch of Pokemon to potentially get a shiny on the way. But at the same time, I do want to move along. Because I do want to get done soon. So we are going to do the strat where we just brute force through. Okay, once again the lighting was messing with me on that one. Doesn't help that the color toward the tail end of the petal-like things are the color I'm expecting to see. So when they're facing the opposite way, they all look like they're shiny. At least I assume. I'm basing it off of the pre-evolved shiny. I don't know for certain that that's what Glimora's shiny looks like until I find one. Which I can hope. But I do have the safety net of having multiple Glimmets. On the 14th, I believe, is they're gonna switch from Glimmet and Glimmora to Mankey and Annihilate. If I remember correctly. And I don't remember what the third one is. But I think there's 3. So we might do this again for the other 2, or I might do them on my own time. All depends on how well this is received on the YouTube. I mean, the Twitch views do matter. It's just the longevity of the content's gonna remain on YouTube longer. So that's the perception that I'm going to look at more, because that one's going to be more long-term accumulative. Although if it does get a bunch of attention on Twitch after a fact as a VOD, there might be the without being received well on YouTube, there might be a possibility of just having a Twitch stream only continuation. I usually don't like doing that, because I like my content to be able to be available long term instead of short term. Shiny Hoot Hoot. I was like, that's a golden ball over there. Not the shiny I was looking for, but I will take extra shinies wherever I find them. Frick yeah, that is the second unexpected bonus shiny. That we were not expecting to see tonight. But now you can kind of see why, like, in the evenings it looks a little more yellowish than that right there. So I get skeptical about every Hoot Hoot I see in the evenings in Kitakami. Like, props to Pokemon for adding dynamic lighting and shading to the game. Like, you didn't optimize the game well, but you added, like, oh, a warm sunset's gonna make everything turn like a warmer shade. As detrimental to shiny hunting as that can be, I give them props for that. It does make it feel realistic to have the lighting of the sky affect the coloration or the perceived coloration of the Pokemon. By the way, the shiny Hulu completely derailed whatever I was talking about before. I think it was about the lastingness of the content that I make. I prefer to make sure like anything that's actually worth keeping, because there have been streams where I'm like, that was bad. That was bad. I'm gonna unpublish it for Twitch. No one's gonna see this ever again. Granted, that's been like maybe 3 streams since I started streaming on Twitch regularly. Would it be weird for me to have a stream that I'm like, okay, this isn't bad, but YouTube's not going to receive it, so I just, you know, let it sit on Twitch until it dies and then it's gone. Like, I know that plenty of Twitch streamers that just do Twitch are fine with that. It just irks me because it's like, I do things that I want people to be able to find and like sit and watch at any time, and letting it die on Twitch is well, letting it live on Twitch and then dying on Twitch is it irks me. Sure, Ursaluna, just ignore the Glimmora and just kill 2 things beside it. Yeah, that Hoot is like the reason, and the Earthworm earlier, are the reasons that like I'll glance over at the other Pokemon when I'm doing this, because I don't need to pay too much attention to the Outbreak Pokemon, because like I'm targeting every single one of them, and I have that safety net of it can't quick battle a shiny, so I don't have to worry about that in the slightest. Okay, the Outbreak has dispersed. So we'll clear out the rest of them. And then we'll head over into the forest. Back to the place where I first got my Ursaluna that I've been using for this stream. I honestly really like the Blood Moon Ursaluna. I think it's really cool. I do hope that future games will allow the variant. I don't know if it's allowed in Champions. Not that I'm too worried about Champions, because I'm not a PvP Pokemon player, really. Like, I've done a little bit, not like public matchups. Like, I did that test of Mightiest Mark Mewtwo with Stellar Terra against a whole team of his choice. He still hasn't like come up with a team to take another whack at that. I thought we could make it like a thing, like he could keep trying until he wins. Okay, any more Glimmora anywhere? Nope. Alright. But he hasn't gotten back to me on that's a very blue flame. Oh no, that's purple. Okay, it just looked blue for a moment. Okay, that's Pachirisu. Second there, I thought that might have been like the bluish teal flame of a Litwick. You know, if they could go back, I know that they could use a lot more work on this entire game. But at the very least, could we get an update for Scarlet and Violet where we auto pick up the sparkling items? Because I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was very neat when Legends ZA added that. Going back to previous games where there isn't that is annoying now. Oh, 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 oh. We got her. We got exactly what I thought I was gonna see. Quick ball, go. If you know self-destruct, I am going to rage. Okay, acid armor, that's fine. You can have acid armor. I knew it was going to be a more daunting task to catch one of them. But remember, I've got that safety net. Did it just poop on my Pokemon? Oh, come on. It's very rare for me not to get a catch without a crit. There we go, crit cap. Because I really don't want to damage shinies. I don't like running that risk. Alright, so we've got at least one of each. And an Orthworm and a Hoot Hoot. So, our very last Outbreak, our very last chance to get the shiny Glimmora without having to evolve one of our shiny Glimmets, has been properly utilized. Now we'll just run around, get clear out the thing, hopefully find maybe one or two more. But if not, that's okay. If we didn't even find the one we got, that'd have been fine. We had Glimmets, we can evolve. So this has been a very successful shiny hunt stream. Not as crazy successful as like community days for Pokemon Go are, but I can't stream that because that's literally doxing myself. The only time I've ever really posted Pokemon Go content has been in a trip to the state of Michigan, and then shorts which did expose where I caught it, but they were all remote raid locations, so I was never in the locations that were stated in the Pokemon's catch summary, which I double checked before I posted, and then someone's like, you doxed yourself. I'm like, I was never in that town. It's a remote raid. Like, I caught it remotely. I don't know what to tell you. Now, if I would have scrolled down to the bottom of the I don't know what you call it. It's when you actually like look at the Pokemon and like the actual like, I don't want to call it stat screen because that's not the stat screen. It's the summary. I guess that would be the equivalent because that's what they call them in the mainline games and spin-off games. But if I scroll all the way to the bottom, it would tell me that I remotely caught it from this other place, which is the one that's said in the appraisal. And then it would also tell me where I actually was when I caught it. So I don't scroll all the way to the bottom of the summary screen. I do appraise it. That way everyone knows, like, oh, this is the stats I got for this. But because most community days I do in my town of residence, making Pokemon Go content is not a viable thing for me to do regularly. Yes, it's only going to take the long way around the boulder. Because I would love to do like the let's go out and do a community day and let's catch shinies, and like if I had the on the go equipment, might even stream it. But because of the doxing, I don't. You're not showing it. Okay. See how like bright that is? I know it's not yellow, but like when I haven't seen a shiny one in a while, it makes me question it. At the very least. Yeah. If I could like head out of town every community day and do like a bigger town, bigger city or whatever, and just do that and not have to worry about doxing myself, I'd do it. Because I enjoy Pokemon. I enjoy playing Pokemon Go, especially on community days, because I can like stack a bunch of shinies. And all those shinies can be put into mainline games and Legends games. So they're very nice to have. And I feel like the amount of walking and like moving around and getting out and doing things equates to some hard work for some shinies. So I don't feel like they're cheesed shinies. Some people do. It's like, okay. And I've stated this before. It's like, yeah, you get... tonight, I've gotten a handful of shinies. But I am literally sitting in a nice comfy chair, pushing buttons and moving joysticks on a controller. Like, it was time consuming. We are literally at the 2.5 hour mark. Okay. So I'll go out for a community day and walk for several kilometers. And that's we use the metric system in Pokemon Go because it's a worldwide game. And I spend 3 hours. And I get a decent haul of shinies usually when I walk for several kilometers over the course of 3 hours. If I put as much effort into community day as I do this stream, aka sitting and just tapping like the screen instead of, you know, pushing buttons and joysticks, then I'll come out with less shinies than I did this evening. So I'd rather go out and actually do some physical like activity and get a whole bunch of shinies that I can use just like I would any of the shinies I catch in here. Okay. Where's that hoot hoot? Because it's... Look at it now. At a distance. It's almost mistakable. Ooh. Yes. Okay, good. Crit cap with the quick ball. Excellent. But yeah. Like, if you literally went out and spent an entire day outside, walking around, in a lot of times very not pleasant weather, because like most community days land on like the most rainiest or hottest or coldest days. They're very unpleasant to do, but I do it anyway. Then I feel like they're very well-earned shinies. And you gotta remember, like, most people don't take their shinies from Pokemon Go and move them into mainline games. It's an option. Anybody that has the things to do it can do it. Like, all you need is your mobile device you play Pokemon Go on, the Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home app, and a Switch or Switch 2 with Pokemon Home and said main or Legends Pokemon game. You got all that, you can do it. I know that might seem a bit for those who just play Go or just play the mainline, but those who just play mainline games, you probably have a smartphone. And Pokemon Home and Pokemon Go are free. For those who just play Pokemon Go and don't have a Nintendo system, I'm not telling you to go out and buy a Nintendo. I'm just saying, if you decided to do that, put Pokemon Home on your Switch or Switch 2 and consider, because you don't even have to move just the shinies. You can move like a decently statted Pokemon. Like if you've did a raid day and you got a bunch of like fairly decent IV'd Pokemon from Pokemon Go, I think the stats, at least the 3 that you get in Pokemon Go, carry over. I think we're done. Cool. That Pikachu's coming for me. I'm gonna pull a disappearing act on it though. Goodbye, Pikachu. Ooh, I slid a little bit. Alright, we are going to put Rayquaza back in the top spot. And hold on, what do I have more of? More Poké Dollars. Okay, and she only takes Poké Dollars, so that's fine. Oh, lovely, you stop by, take your time, and... Okay. I didn't know, because it had like a yellow text box, and it usually means like something important, but no. Alright. So we'll buy items. And balls to 50 of those. And 50 of the ducks. Alright. But yeah, that's the Glimmet and Glimmora shiny hunting that I'm gonna be doing. I'm not gonna really do much of any more. I will open the boxes quick so we can look at what we got. So ignore the first row. So we got a total of 5 Glimmet and 2 Glimmora, an Orthworm, and a Hoot Hoot. Like I said, pretty successful. Now, my Greninja here, if I remember correctly, is from Pokemon Go. He was caught during a Froakie community day, and he has been my water type for, I think, most of my Scarlet playthrough. Or, like, most of the time that I've been playing Scarlet, I had this one. I think Ursaluna, obviously, from this game. Can't get it anywhere else. Typhlosion here was a Mightiest Mark raid. Ampharos, I believe, was just a random regular catch. Greninja from Pokemon Go. Shiny Zamazenta from Pokemon Go. They released both of the box art legendaries for Sword and Shield at Shiny in raids in Pokemon Go about, I think, a year ago at this point. I did have my Pokemon Shield end of the main game caught Zamazenta on my team for a longest time. But I wasn't going to pass up putting a shiny on my team. So I reboxed my, what more people would consider the more legitimate Zamazenta, and put the shiny on my team. And then this one, yeah, I got this one in a trade. It was a special event distribution. Don't remember exactly. Yeah, it's from a Pokemon Emerald. Or it's from a Hoenn game. I don't know if it was like one of the actual original Gen 3 games, or if it was Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, or what. But I know it's from the Hoenn region. Distribution, so I don't know. If someone wants to tell me where the Rayquaza the Cherished souvenir ribbon shiny in a cherished ball came from, please let me know, because the original origin of this Pokemon is unknown to me, because I did get it in a trade from someone who got it from a trade. I got it in an in-person trade with one of Shadow King's buddies, and he must have got it from a trade from someone from Japan, because that's, from what I can tell, Japanese for the original trainer. So yeah. Yeah. So there was also a Scarlet and Violet distribution for a guaranteed shiny Rayquaza raid that you could only get one of per save file. I did get that, but because I already had this one, it sat in the box for the longest time until I was like, you know what? I literally don't have anything else to do with it. Even though I'll take all the shiny Rayquazas. I won't say no to a shiny Rayquaza. So that one is now the one that you see in my Pokemon Legends ZA streams as part of my team there, because otherwise it was just gonna sit in a box here or in home, and like, I don't want my shiny Rayquazas to go to waste. So the one that was already in my team here stays in my team here, and then the one that I got from this game goes to the next one. And it can't come back, because I don't know why, but they like, anything you move to ZA can't go back to previous games. I'm like, well, like I said, I wasn't using it in the previous games anyway, so let's move it on up. Now I got shiny Mega Rayquaza with a Shell Bell because it doesn't need a Mega Stone. That was mostly just for those who hadn't seen any of my recent Legends ZA streams or videos. But I'm still very happy with like having both this one and the one in Legends ZA. I'm also very, very pleased with our outcome for tonight's stream. So, yeah. Let me just switch this back over to this, because it is time for me to wrap things up, because like I said about half an hour ago, it's getting kind of late and I want to go to bed and I'm tired and such. So that's still true. I got a slight second wind, thankfully, right at the beginning of the Glimmora's outbreaks. So I'll be able to, you know, actually function on my way to getting ready for bed tonight. So I thank everyone who decided to come and hang out and catch some shinies with me and, you know, have a pretty chill time, even though one of our shinies blew up in our face, literally. So that was not great. But, yep, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for all the biddies. Thanks for any channel points and whatever used. And thanks for just, you know, lurking if you lurked. And if you're watching this on YouTube later on, you know, thanks for hitting that like and that subscribe button. That'd be appreciated. I haven't been doing a whole lot of like running through the Haze support, that's like this. I'm chilling out on requesting engagements and stuff like that. It's like, if you like what you see, you know how to express it on. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. And like, I hope you guys show up for the next one. So until then, I hope you have a good night or evening or morning or whenever you're watching this after it being live, if you're doing that. And I will see you guys hopefully in the next one. Good night.